British Christmas time, a magical time of year that officially begins in October. Yeah, you've heard that right, October. The leaves haven't even finished falling off the trees yet, and you've walked into your local Tesco's for your bread and milk and your 50-gram pouch of Carter's Choice, and you're almost whacked in the face by a 9-foot inflatable Santa, giving it large at the entrance. And inside, they're already blasting Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. Like she's a bastard alarm clock for the start of national suffering. As if they've had her there waiting in the stockroom all year, warming up her vocals and doing a mic check. Everywhere you look, there's an aisle full of advent calendars, longer than some people's relationships. And you think to yourself, how do they last so long? I swear these things could survive a nuclear winter. You could bury one in your back garden for next Christmas and they would still taste the same. Like disappointment and cheap chocolate. But that's when you know. For the next couple of months, you're going to be mentally abused by the same 12 songs on repeat, blackout drunk 3 or 4 nights a week, and by the end of it all, struggling financially because the Great British Christmas has officially begun. So you finally make it out of shop and you've survived one of the greatest tests known to man during winter next to staying warm, knowing full well you'll only have to endure it another 14 times this week alone, but that's tomorrow's problem. You need to get to work. Hopefully the pain of giving away 8 hours of your day and what little energy and social tolerance you may have for minimum wage might just numb the pain you're gonna feel every day for the next 6 weeks. But you forgot it's Christmas time. Black Friday's around the corner, so forget booking any time off because the Christmas rush has just started. Not only are you dreading the weekly shop, but now you're also dreading every bastard work day. Not only do you have to deal with the tacky decorations they've kept in a dusty box since the 90s, but you've also got to get yourself ready for Secret Santa. There's a £20 maximum this year, but you know every cunt's gonna make that a minimum, so you put your hand in that hat to pick the name out to see who's the lucky person, hoping this year is someone with a sense of humour, only to pick out the most boring cunt in the office. You've only ever spoke to him 4 times, and 3 of those were jokes he got offended by. So that means this year's Secret Santa will most probably end up in a disciplinary, you say to yourself, as you put the extra small condoms and butt plug into your cart on Amazon. But there's no time to worry about that now because it's time for the annual Works Christmas Do. The annual event where you're forced to spend your evening with people you barely tolerate for 8 hours a day, but now they're drunk and being over-friendly. Karen from accounts has smashed a couple of Prosecco's and doing the Macarena on the dance floor, and Susan from HR is handing out drink tokens like you ain't gonna spend them in 10 minutes and then nick the rest when she's trying to organise the buffet. Then there's always that one guy, usually yourself, in and out of the toilets every 10 minutes with a white ring around his left nostril like he's jumped head first into a Mr. Whippy ice cream. You get the whole team kicked out of spoons and end up trying to have a scrap with the regional manager and the kebabi down the road. So you might be on the jam roll come January, but you suck it up now because you need to get home to the missus. She's already got a Christmas tree up and she's spending a 1 hour a day on stocking fillers and celebration tins. She's been making her list, she's checking it twice, and she's gonna moan every bastard day until Christmas night. Everything has to be perfect. Preparation is key. Look, you're awake till 3 a.m. Christmas Eve, getting the turkey on and making sure the presents are under the tree. Luckily, Santa gets left a glass of sherry and a mince pie, so that means you get to shot a glass of sherry and eat a mince pie, while the wife's making sure her turkey's moist. You don't think Santa's had enough sherry after the night he's had, so you down off half the bottle as well, just to make sure. Then the day finally arrives. The whole family's there and you've been pissed since 10:30 this morning. Every year is the same. Your uncle's already 6 double JDs deep talking about chemtrails. Your mother-in-law's already shamed you for not providing for her daughter and having a tiny dick, and there's already an argument brewing. Finally, dinner at the table. You all crack the crackers and read the shit jokes to each other that you all know the answer to. Dad's in his element, carving the turkey and dishing up the food like some primal instincts taking over that cavemen used to use. It's the only time of year, bar the summer barbecue, we can feel those endorphins rush through his bloodstream, so you just wait patiently for your food and let him feel the vibes. Finally, everybody gets their food and everybody says straight away, oh yeah, This is lovely. Been waiting for this all year. Well, the turkey is drier than a GCSE maths lesson. Mum's on her 5th brandy and still has PTSD after the 6 hours she spent in the kitchen, and Dad's still got a turkey carver in his hand, reliving his past life as a chieftain from the Stone Age, so you just keep your mouth shut. Finally, dinner's over and everyone can relax. And when I say relax, I mean drinking copious amounts of alcohol while you try not to ruin the post-dinner Christmas activities that include things like charades or that game where you tape a celebrity's name to your head and you've got to try and guess it. You're fucking steaming by this point, but luckily there's a cheese board nearby you can use for sustenance as you try and help the bottle of Cappy Morgs evaporate that your mum got you for Christmas. She still hasn't learned from the past 6 or 7 years that is not a good idea, but it's the only thing that can get you through that 7th game of Jenga with your nephew who's got a splash of autism. Then there's always that family member who ruins it all by the evening. Now, they've usually drank a little bit too much and brought up some family issues from like 2 years ago and maybe said a couple of racist or offensive jokes, and that guy's probably yourself if you've related to anything in this video, so congratulations, you've survived the great British Christmas season. It's loud, it's chaotic, but as iconic as it is, you're glad when it's finally over. That's when it does eventually end, because you'll be eating turkey sandwiches for the next 2 weeks at work and the neighbour won't take their lights down for another month. But until then, Merry Christmas, you bunch of